So I'm making another one of those videos that I wish I didn't have to make, but that I feel like I really have to make. I just had quite a stressful experience at a library. Yes, another stressful experience at another library, I know. And yeah, I feel like I need to share that. So what happened was I was feeling really rough today, and I saw that the sun was shining outside, and so I thought, okay, I'll just go out for a walk. I might feel a little bit better. And so I went for a walk and it was nice, and then I walked past my local library and I thought I'll pop in there because I remembered that I had to print something off for a task that I needed to do tomorrow. So I just wanted to get that done. So I go into the library and I sit down at a computer, I log in, I get my emails up, I try and find a document, and suddenly I hear a noise. And I look up and I realize that the noise is coming from the children's room that's part of the library. And the door was open, so I figured it was probably children doing stuff, and I was like, okay. And then I continued to try and do my task. But then I heard a noise again, and it got even louder, and then I looked over, and then I saw this little boy that was playing with a plastic wheelbarrow outside the children's room in the foyer of the library. And I was like, okay, well, that's a bit annoying. I mean, why doesn't he just stay in there, like in the children's room? I mean, where are the parents? But it was annoying, but at this point it wasn't so loud that it was really bothering me that much. So I just continued. I mean, I did struggle to focus a bit on my task, but I just tried to get it done. And then suddenly I see this boy like running past me and past the whole computer area, and just from one end of the library to the other end. And I was like, oh, like what's going on? Like, why is there this kid running with their wheelbarrow from one end to the other? And the wheelbarrow was really, really loud. Like, it wasn't just one of those quiet ones that, you know, I think most of the time they're pretty quiet, aren't they? But this one, it was loud. And it was very disruptive, and everyone noticed it. And, you know, and I think some people, they definitely were a bit annoyed or irritated or confused as to why this kid was running around with that wheelbarrow. But no one was saying anything at this point, and the librarians weren't saying anything at this point. And the parents, I have no idea where the parents were. But then, like, it happened again. He did it again. And then another boy joined him with another wheelbarrow, and he did the same thing. So both of these kids were just running around with these really noisy plastic wheelbarrows in the library where people were trying to study, trying to do some work, you know, trying to do some tasks like I was. And it just kept going on, and no one said or did anything. And so the librarians, they just stood there, and they didn't do very much. Parents, no idea where the parents were or if there were any parents around. And I was just sitting there and I couldn't focus anymore. I was like, this is so loud. Like, I just want to finish this off. And I only had like this one small task to do, which was to log out of the computer. And I wasn't sure how to do that, so I was trying to figure it out. But these kids, they were just so loud. And I was just like, I was just saying it out loud. I was saying like, oh man, like this isn't a playground. And I was annoyed. And there was like a few people next to me, and there was another guy who was saying something, and I couldn't understand what he was saying. But then there was this woman there, and she was just saying, oh, you know, they're just kids and they're just having fun, like, la la la, all good. And then I was saying, yeah, but this is a library, it's not a playground. And then she just laughed. She just laughed, and she's like, oh yeah, you know, kids are just being kids. No. And I was like, really? Like, are we just at that point where kids can just behave however they like in public places, and no one's going to supervise them, no one's going to tell them to stop it, no one's going to tell them off? Like, why? It just seems so crazy to me that that people just tolerate it. And it's like kids, they don't have to behave at all. And yeah, and I look like the crazy bitch because I complained, and I just look like I'm a grumpy, mean bitch, right? And yeah, maybe people are going to think that I am, maybe some of people watching here are going to think that I am, and that I'm just really dull, and that I'm just really uptight, and that I need to chill. Look, yeah, I would really like to chill. Believe me, I would really like to chill. But it's just so hard. Like, you know, I'm autistic, I'm noise sensitive, and I can hardly leave the house without being exposed to, I don't know, some kind of noise. And yeah, I'm aware of that, obviously, and I try and protect myself from the noise, but you know, I can't just have noise-cancelling headphones in 24/7, or, you know, whenever I'm out. It's just too much. And if I'm just trying to do something at the library for 5 minutes, like, I don't want to have to do that. It's just a lot to navigate, like, you know, but yeah, I guess it's like I have to do it because, yeah, the world's changing, and like, getting children to behave themselves, it's not a thing anymore. It's not a thing. Yeah, I don't think people care very much about getting children to behave. I think maybe some of them do, but a lot of people, they just let them do what they want in public. And staff at places, they're probably too scared to tell them off too, because then the parents will have a go at them and whatever. I don't know. But yeah, fact is, it really stressed me out, and you know, and the fact that I get laughed at for just stating the obvious, which is that this is a library and not a playground, well, I think that's pretty strange. I mean, I don't know what's funny about that. I don't know. I definitely wasn't trying to be funny. I was just trying to tell people what's what. Because it seems like it seems like I was the only one there who really realized that. Yeah, I don't know what to say. The world's just crazy.